In this video we are going to talk about wine in food pairings. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Learn food and wine pairing basics so you can create your own pairings. This guide will show you the steps on how to pair. You'll also learn what to look for in a recipe in order to make great wine matches. A great food and wine pairing creates a balance between the components of a dish and the characteristics of a wine.As. As much as pairing food and wine is complex, the basics are simple to grasp. Identify the basics tastes. In this day and age, we've learned that there are over 20 different tastes found in food, from the basic, including sweet, sour and fat, to the extreme, including spicy, umami and electric. Fortunately, you only need to focus on 6 tastes when pairing food and wine: salt, acid, sweet, bitter, fat and spice, piquant. Basic taste components in wine. For the most part, wine lacks the 3 tastes of fatness, spiciness and saltiness, but does contain acidity, sweetness and bitterness in varying degrees. Generally speaking, you can group wines into 3 different categories. Red wines have more bitterness. White, rose and sparkling wines have more acidity. Sweet wines have more sweetness. Basic taste components in food. Simplify a dish down to its basic dominant tastes. For example, baked macaroni has 2 primary components, fat and salt. Southern barbecue is a bit more complex and includes fat, salt, sweet and spice, plus a little acid. Even dishes without meat can be simplified. For example, a green salad offers acidity and bitterness, creamed corn offers fatness and sweetness. Consider the intensity. Food: is the food super light or super rich? A salad may seem lighter, but perhaps the dressing is balsamic vinaigrette with high acidity. If the intensity of the dish isn't obvious at first, just focus on the power of each taste component: acidity, fat, sweet, etc. Wine: is the wine light or bold? Here are a few examples. Sauvignon Blanc is light-bodied, but it has higher acidity. Chardonnay has more body, but it's usually not too acidic. Pinot Noir is lighter-bodied, for a red wine, and it doesn't have too much tannin, bitterness. Cabernet Sauvignon is more full-bodied and has high tannin, more bitterness. Find contrasting or congruent pairings. Now that you've identified all the basic taste components in your dish, you can start playing around with pairing options. The simple example of the baked macaroni will offer up several possible pairings. Complementary pairing: a white wine with high acidity will complement the fat in the macaroni. So, for example, a traditional mac and cheese recipe with a creamy bechamel sauce matched with zesty white wine such as Pinot Grigio, Assyrtiko or Sauvignon Blanc would create a complementary pairing. Congruent pairing: a white wine with creaminess will add to the creaminess in the dish. So, for example, a traditional mac and cheese recipe with a creamy bechamel sauce matched with a creamy white wine such as Viognier or Chardonnay would create a congruent pairing. Getting creative. Once you create balance with the major taste components in both the wine and the dish, you can get creative by pairing the more subtle flavors. Here are some examples using variants of mac and cheese. Do you want to learn what to eat with wine to make your leisure time even more luxurious? Keep reading for 11 delicious food and wine pairings. 1. Sangiovese pairs with pizza and other tomato-based dishes. Since pizza, pasta, and other tomato-based dishes are Italian, it only makes sense to pair these foods with a glass of good Italian wine. The reason why Italian wines work well with tomato is because they help complement the acidity. Other wines have the potential to leave a metallic aftertaste in your mouth. The older the Sangiovese wine is, the fruitier it gets. Before you take your first sip, take some time to appreciate the subtle scents of figs, cherries, and roses. 2. Pinot Grigio pairs with seafood dishes. Seafood tends to have delicate flavors, so you wouldn't want to overpower them with a complex wine. Pinot Grigio is the best match for most seafood dishes because it's more subtle in flavor. This wine will not only enhance the dish, but it will let the seafood shine on your palate. 3. Rose pairs with cheesy dishes. Cheeses come in all different types of flavors and textures, which means they can make wine pairings challenging. If you're ever in doubt, rose tastes great with every type of cheese. The reason why is because rose embodies the acidity of white wines and the sweetness of red wines. If you're more in the mood to have snacks with wine, you can create grown-up grilled cheese sandwiches. Grilled cheese and wine will hit the spot without making you feel too full. 4. Prosecco pairs with prosciutto and melon. Prosciutto and melon skewers are one of the best snacks that go with wine. Since they're simple to prepare, they make a perfect party appetizer that's sure to please any crowd. Although this sweet and savory bite is delicious on its own, pairing it with a glass of Prosecco can take the flavors to the next level. Since this wine is sparkling and floral, it can cut through salty meats like prosciutto while also complementing the sweetness of the melons. 5. Malbec pairs with barbecue dishes. Whether you're being adventurous and trying Korean barbecue or you're sticking with classic American barbecue flavors, you won't be disappointed if you drink some Malbec with your meal. Since barbecued foods boast a diverse, smoky flavor profile, you'll need a wine that also has a big personality. Since Malbec is fruity and smoky, it can enhance the sweet and tangy notes in your barbecue sauce. 6. Cabernet Sauvignon pairs with steak and other red meats. Although any red wine tastes great with red meat, there's nothing more decadent than Cabernet Sauvignon and a nice cut of beef. This wine is high in tannins and has a bold, fruity profile. Since red meats are rich, the fats can help balance the flavors. If you're looking for a well-rounded meal, you can't go wrong with this pairing. The sweet wine will lighten the heaviness of the meat. You'll walk away feeling perfectly satisfied. 7. Moscato d'Asti pairs with fruits. Fruits are obvious snacks to serve with wine since wine can be made from more than grapes. Moscato d'Asti is always a wise choice to serve with plain fruits or fruity desserts because it's not too sweet. Since it's also sparkling wine, it can also help cleanse your palate between each bite so you can enjoy the full flavors of each fruit. 8. Burgundy pairs with earthy dishes. If you're eating a dish that uses a lot of vegetables or herbs, you don't want to miss out on relaxing with a glass or two of Burgundy. Burgundy is an elegant wine that's both earthy and sweet. This elegant flavor profile brings out the richness in foods like mushrooms, squash, basil, apples, and bell peppers. 9. Syrah pairs with spicy meats. You may not think that there is any type of spicy food that goes with wine, but Syrah opens up a lot of possibilities. This red wine is so bold and decadent that some even describe the taste as meaty. The combination of its fruity tones with a surprising velvety smokiness is divine. If you're eating any meat that's seasoned heavily with spices like cumin, curry, or chile, you'll be blown away once you try it with a glass of Syrah. 10. Chardonnay pairs with delicate chicken or pork dishes. Oaked Chardonnay is known for its buttery taste, while the unoaked Chardonnay is zesty with more floral and citrus notes. Oaked Chardonnay can add a layer of richness to your meal, while unoaked Chardonnay will keep the meal light and refreshing. No matter what type of Chardonnay you choose, it's bound to taste excellent with any delicate chicken or pork dish. 11. Zinfandel pairs with salty snacks like pretzels or chips. Did you know that pretzels and chips make incredible wine snacks? If you're a fan of these casual foods, you can rejoice because they're not only limited to beer. Zinfandel is a beautiful match for salty party snacks because it has a unique sweet and smoky flavor. Since Zinfandel can have an alcohol content as high as 17%, you can feel great after one glass. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.